Welcome back to the Bee Cave Book Hall. This is the summer reading edition, and we're really excited to have here in our studio Linnea and Madeline. They're our Teen Advisory Board members that have lots of cool books to talk to. I'm Cate Sweeney, the Public Services Manager, and I'm excited to hear about their new book haul that they have to bring us. So I understand they've been reading a couple series that they're really excited about.
Yeah, the first one we wanted to talk about was by Jenny Han. It's her All the Boys I've Loved Before series.
It's such an interesting premise because there's this girl, and she's never really had any dating experience, but she claims to have been in love with 5 boys over the course of her life. She wrote love letters to all of them, and she sealed them away in a hat box. But then when her little sister was mad at her, she mailed them all out. And so suddenly, all these 5 boys from Laura Jean's past all come, and it leads to much drama.
She has to end up dealing with all of them who received and read these letters that were super personal for her, that she never meant for any of them to read, because they were mostly just her letting go of loving them. So she has to deal with confronting all of them and the ones that she's still close with, and having their relationships change even when she really doesn't want them to.
Oh my gosh, that's like the stuff nightmares are made out of in high school. So how many books are in that series?
There's 2 currently, and then the third one is coming out in May. The first book is all about her dealing with, the letters, and then the second book is about her dealing with her relationship with one of the boys that she sent a letter to. And then the third one is supposedly about them dealing with, going off to college and finding out if they want to continue a relationship or try to make it work, or, yeah.
So we've just been super pumped about it, because it was supposed to come out this month?
Yeah.
And they had to delay the release. So just keeping us on edge, waiting for the next one to come out and finish her story.
That's awesome. What was the other series you guys were going to talk about?
It's funny because this other author is actually best friends with Jenny Han in real life, Morgan Matson. She's probably my favorite author of all time.
I love her so much.
I love her so much. She is coming out with her 5th book, also in May. Mm-hmm. And I've loved all of her books because they always, they're about different stories, but they all intermix. There are crossovers between the characters.
What's the series name?
It's not a series. They're all set in the same town.
Oh, okay.
So the first one, we've got
Amy and Roger's Epic Detour was her first one.
And then Second Chance Summer was the next one.
Since You've Been Gone, which was my personal favorite, because it's all about these 2 best friends, and one of them disappears for the summer and leaves the other best friend this bucket list for her summer of things that she's always been too afraid to do. And there's this letter that she'll find her best friend when she's completed the list. Mm-hmm. And so it's all about her being adventurous and trying new things.
Mm-hmm. And she has to make new friends in order to finish out the list and get some new relationships, and just completely steps out of her comfort zone.
I see a trend with some of these books. New relationships, lists, or people being mailed stuff. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, well, her new book is about a girl who goes to her brother's wedding. And I can't remember exactly what it's about.
I'm just excited to read it because I love everything that woman writes.
Yeah. If it has Morgan Matson's name on it, I'm going to read it.
It kind of makes you wonder if they get together in a coffee shop, these authors, and start talking about their ideas and whether or not they kind of bounce off each other that way. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it looks like you guys have some newer books that you wanted to tell us about, one of which you've read and one that I guess is sparking your attention. So yeah.
Did you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Well, if you're more into fantasy than contemporary reads, this is definitely more for you. It's called 3 Dark Crowns, and I was attracted to this book just because it had such a different premise. 3 triplets are born each generation on this island, and only one of them can be queen. And when they turn 16, that's when the battle begins to be queen, and one sister has to kill the other 2 in order to be queen.
Yikes.
And so it was really interesting reading it because I thought that I would be attached to one immediately and be rooting for her the whole time, but that was not the case at all. I was rooting for all of them, and so it was such a stressful read actually, because I was so worried about all of them, and it was so weird for them to they had this love for each other, but they also knew that this is what they were expected to do. But the end has an interesting turn. So
it's almost like Hunger Games.
It is
with a family,
with your sisters.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
it's got
the stakes are even higher somehow. Remarkably,
a royal aspect, which makes everything more exciting. Mm-hmm. And they've all got their own love interests who are rooting for them, and they've all got different powers, which help them. And so it's just, it's really interesting.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I really want to read that one. So the book that I have recently been looking at that's next on my list is Wait for Me by Caroline Leech. I love historical fiction, and I don't get to read a lot of it. This one is about World War II, but it also has a little bit of romance in it, which is what I've been reading like before, as you have seen with...
Could probably guess.
Probably guess.
It may be our favorite.
But this just sounds really good. It's like about a girl on her father's farm, and this German prisoner of war is assigned to live with her, and like her brothers are away fighting, and she has to deal with this enemy, and well, I guess there's a twist, but I can't wait to read it.
That's cool. And I think the cover is really appealing as well. It just kind of has this, I don't know, there's something kind of, I don't know if whimsical is the word, but just...
that's what I would say. It's like
they can almost be together, but not
so
quite.
Close,
right, they're reaching hands for each other.
So will they take hands or will they not? You never know. You have to read to find out.
You guys should write the book blurbs in the future. Or make the book covers, either way.
That would be fun.
Awesome. Well, is that all you have for us today?
I think so.
Until next time, we'll wrap it up from here, and we want to wish everybody happy book day.
The BK Book Hall is part of the BK Public Library's podcast channel. It is produced and edited by Megan Fisher. Thanks to the Friends of the BK Public Library for the donation of our podcast equipment. For more information, go to www.bktexas.com. Please feel free to email us or leave any comments and suggestions below. We'd love to hear from you.